What is up guys, and welcome to today's video where we'll be having a look at the latest and the biggest winter transfer market news in the English Premier League. So we're going to have a look at a bunch of the players that have been linked to multiple clubs. Either they're getting out of the Premier League or they're getting into the Premier League. So we'll have a look at all of them. So we're going to have a look at the first three players, which is going to be Coutinho, Nzonzi and Payet. So let's start talking about Coutinho. Now he's obviously the ace of Liverpool so far. I think he's definitely going to get the winter upgrade. He's been very impressive for Liverpool. He's one of the he's probably the best player playing for Liverpool at the moment, with like Mane or maybe like someone like Matip's pretty doing decent, and Lallana's doing decent as well. But Coutinho has been recently linked with Barcelona, and then apparently Klopp did speak on that as well. He's been speaking that Coutinho may leave, but he obviously wouldn't want Coutinho to leave Liverpool because he's a very key player to Liverpool. And in Liverpool's perspective, like, no matter what price Barcelona offers for him, I don't think they should just never sell him, because currently Liverpool is in just an amazing form, and if they sell him, then the kind of momentum is going to die down, you know, when the key player leaves the club. And then we're going to have a look at the next player, which is going to be Steven Nzonzi, and he is linked with Barcelona and Chelsea. But I'm only gonna add the Chelsea one here since it's like the English Premier League transfer news and stuff. So Chelsea is apparently looking to buy this guy, or he's kind of linked with him. I'm not too sure about this transfer because Chelsea already got a lot of quality midfielders in their team. Someone like Matic is doing decent. Kante is doing decent. Someone from youth like Caliber, someone like Loftus-Cheek is a pretty decent player as well. It looks like Fabregas is going to leave the club, so I don't think Nzonzi is really going to happen anyway. And then the next player is going to be Payet, who is linked with Paris Saint-Germain. It's not a strong link. Like, I could kind of see it like from where it's happening. Obviously, Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, a very big club from League One. Obviously, they win it most of the time. I don't think they're going to win it this year. I'm not too sure about that. We'll have to see more about that. But obviously, they're kind of consistent when it comes to like Champions League performance or like league performance, at least until last season. And then Payet is French as well, so I could kind of see where the news is coming from. But you know, we could see like where that's gonna go. I'm not too sure. It may happen, it may not. If it does happen, I think it's gonna happen at the end of the season, not the mid-season. And we're gonna look at the next play, which is gonna be we're gonna be talking about Jose Jimenez first, because he's now linked with both Arsenal and Manchester United. Obviously, Jimenez is probably one of the world's best young defenders out there. Uruguayan, he's a very solid player from Atletico Madrid, and then he's now linked with Arsenal and Manchester United, which I could definitely see where it's happening from. I do think if he does move, it is gonna be Manchester United, since Arsenal already got a lot of quality defenses. Yes, Koscielny is getting kind of old, but they could get like Callum Chambers more in use, like after he's more experienced. They already got Mustafi, who's been a very good signing as well. While in Manchester United, they probably do need a new centre back. I'm not too sure why it's going to go. Man United is kind of shaky right now. Then we're going to look at some of the next players now, which is going to be Schneiderlin and Mandzukic. Schneiderlin, who's linked with both Tottenham Hotspur and Crystal Palace. Obviously not getting a lot of game time for Manchester United. It's mostly Pogba and Carrick, you know, and Herrera. They've been playing pretty decent, especially Carrick. Manchester United just need that Carrick in midfield, don't they? And Schneiderlin, it looks like he's going to leave the club to either Tottenham or Crystal Palace. I think if he does move, it is going to be Crystal Palace. Obviously, Crystal Palace need a game changer. They've been in a pretty bad form recently. Let's agree on that. While Spurs, there's going to be a lot of competition in that club. There's like Victor Wanyama, there's Dembele, who's a very solid player. So I think Schneiderlin should choose Crystal Palace. And then Mandzukic as well. I don't think the transfer is really going to happen, because Tottenham already got Janssen in case something happens to Harry Kane, of course. And then we're going to look at some of the next players as well, which is going to be Fabregas, Toure, and Memphis Depay. Now, starting with Fabregas, I've already spoken about this guy. He hasn't been the main Chelsea, the Conte's man for Chelsea's very good season, and it does look like Fabregas is going to leave. I think he is going to probably move to either Italian club, maybe Juventus. Who knows what's going to happen? Apparently, Toure is connected with Juventus as well, so we'll have to see what happens there. Because right now it's not very clear of like where they are like properly linked to. It looks like AC Milan has stopped pursuing for Fabregas as well. And then Memphis, apparently he's got an offer for Everton. Koeman has already spoken on that. He said he wanted Memphis on the team. I think in Memphis perspective, I think he should really move to, like, I think he's gonna be a loan, probably loan to Everton, since he can get some game time. He's been good in the international duties, so if he can keep up that international performance in the club, then when he moves to Everton, he gets some game time, and maybe when he goes to Manchester United, he can perform like how he used to do in the Dutch league. And then we're going to move on to the final bits of plays, which is going to be Jonathan Tah, Dahoud, and Ivanovic. So starting with Jonathan Tah, he's a very solid player from Bayer Leverkusen, a very good defender as well, to say precisely. And apparently Liverpool is trying to get Tau, which is kind of questionable because at the beginning of the season they already signed Klavan and Matip, who in my opinion has been pretty successful, especially Matip, adding that depth to the defense. I don't think the transfer of Tau is really gonna happen, to be absolutely honest, just in my opinion. I think it's gonna stick to Lovren and Matip, because that's already a pretty solid defense, let's not lie there. The Hood as well. Liverpool's already got a lot of good midfielders. That could may happen. I'm not too sure about that because I'll have to like look further on that. And then the last player, which is gonna be Ivanovic, apparently is linked to Crystal Palace, and I could definitely see this coming because Ivanovic obviously not playing a lot of the game time with Chelsea's new formation 3-4-3. Yes, it is 3-4-3. I don't think Ivanovic is really gonna be fitting the wing back because Victor Moses is doing amazing in that job on the right mid. And this is gonna end today's video. If you have enjoyed it, please hit the like button, subscribe, and goodbye.